I feel like when people talk about trying out solo travel, they tend to focus on the possible downsides of it. Is it scary? Is it lonely? But there are so many upsides to traveling by yourself, so today I'm going to share 5 ways that solo travel is awesome. Before we get started, shout out to today's sponsors, Squarespace. If you're looking to build a website, they have everything you need and it's super easy. Okay, so reason number 1 that solo travel is awesome is you only have to worry about your own schedule, you only have to do what you want to do, and you can do it at your own pace. And this starts even when you're planning your trip. When you're looking at flights, you're not coordinating days or times with other people, because whenever you travel with somebody else, there's always like, I can leave on Wednesday, and it's like, oh, I have to work that day, I wouldn't be able to leave until Friday. Like, no one has the exact same schedule. It's always an ordeal trying to find days that work for everyone, but when you're traveling by yourself, the only person it needs to work for is you. And then on your trip, you only have to do the things that you want to do. So if you hate museums, you're not going to have a friend that's like dragging you to a museum because they have to see something. Or if you love museums, you could spend 10 hours in an exhibit and nobody's there like looking at their watch and tapping their feet and hating you because you're making them sit at a museum all day. The second thing that is so awesome about solo travel that I think a lot of people don't even consider when thinking about traveling alone is it is so much more efficient to travel by yourself. And what I mean by that is whenever you're traveling with another person or a group of people, you are compromising with everyone to make sure that everybody's needs are met and everybody is getting to do what they want to do on that trip. And even the simplest things affect this. Like in the morning, somebody is first into the shower and somebody's waiting on the shower. And therefore somebody is usually ready before the other person. So they're waiting for the other person to be ready to go. There's time lost there. You finally get to your first stop and somebody's gonna have to go to the bathroom. So you make a 10-minute detour to go walk around and find where the bathroom is. An hour later, somebody's getting hungry. So you do a detour for them to go find a snack or sit down because somebody wants to take a break. And all of those little things add up and they really slow you down if you're trying to see a lot. And the calculation that I've roughly come up with for this is if it takes me 3 days to see something with another person, I can see that in 2 days by myself. Because in the morning, I'm the first one in the shower and I'm not waiting on anyone else to get ready. And I don't have to stop for bathroom breaks unless I need it or snacks unless I need it. And if I don't want to spend 30 more minutes in the museum, I can turn around and leave. Like if I want to show up at the Louvre, walk in, go see the Mona Lisa, take a picture, turn around and walk out and get on with my day, I can do that. I can make a list of 10 things I want to see in that day and I can make sure I go see all 10 of them because nobody else is going to try to detour me. And a huge perk of this is if I'm traveling by myself, I don't necessarily need to plan for as many days in a city as I would if I was traveling with somebody else, which means I'm not paying for as many nights in a hotel, I'm not paying for as many days of meals. If I'm traveling by myself, I can cover a lot of ground in just a weekend. The third reason solo travel is awesome is you have a greater chance of meeting new people and connecting with the locals. It's so true that when you're traveling in a group, you're less likely to be approached by new people because it's kind of intimidating to approach a group of people, and you're also more likely to stick to your group and not really connect with other people. When I'm traveling with somebody else and we go to a restaurant, we get a table and it's just the two of us and we only talk to each other. But when I'm traveling by myself, I will usually get a seat at the bar and I'll chat to the bartender and ask what's good to see around there. Do they have any recommendations for the city? You're more approachable when you're by yourself and you're more likely to approach people when you're by yourself. The fourth reason solo travel is awesome is it can be cheaper. And I know that some of you are like, absolutely not. It is so much cheaper to travel with another person, but in certain circumstances, I think that solo travel can be cheaper than traveling with another person. For starters, when you're booking your flights and picking your travel dates, you don't have to coordinate with another person. So if your priority is to get on the cheapest flight possible, you don't have to make sure that that date and time works for another person. You can just find the cheapest day and make sure to get your schedule around that. Also, I spend so much less money on food and beverages when I'm traveling by myself because usually when I'm traveling alone, I tend to do only 2 big meals a day. Like I'll do a big breakfast brunch type of a meal, and then I'll have just like a quick afternoon snack maybe from like a stand that I pass by, so it's not like really a full meal, and then I'll go have a full dinner. So I'm really only paying for 2 meals and a snack every day. But also when I'm traveling by myself, I pretty much never order any alcohol because I don't like being impaired and unaware of my surroundings when I'm in an unfamiliar place. I don't really like drinking by myself. And alcohol is expensive. Anyone who's ever gone on a trip with friends knows that you can go out for a night with friends and blow a ton of money on alcohol. And while there is the argument that solo travel is more expensive because you can't split a hotel with somebody, depending on where you're traveling, you can get a single room or you can stay in a hostel, which is at least half, usually less than half, of the cost of what splitting a hotel room with somebody would be. So depending on how you plan your trip, I do think it can be cheaper to travel by yourself. And then the fifth reason solo travel is awesome is it is so empowering. It will boost your confidence so much because you are going to run into problems when traveling by yourself. Whether it's not knowing how to get on public transport to get from one place to another, or losing something, you will inevitably run into problems and you will have to problem solve all by yourself without anyone there to help you. And you are going to figure out how to solve these problems. And when you do, you are going to be so proud of yourself. I am so proud of my solo trip to Japan. I was so nervous about that trip for a couple of reasons. The language difference, not only do I not speak the language, but the language is different characters. Like I can't see a sign and just Google translate what that is. So I was super nervous about that, but then I also knew that the Tokyo Underground subway system was the most extensive subway system in the world and absolute chaos to somebody who doesn't know how it works. It's actually very efficient and very organized once you figure it out, but until you figure it out, it seems absolutely bonkers. And I made a lot of mistakes in Tokyo trying to figure out how to get around and not being able to understand the language and having to ask strangers to help me. And it was really daunting at parts, but I did it. I figured out the Tokyo Underground. I know how it works now, and I'm so proud of that trip. I had to do it myself. I was in Tokyo. It was rush hour. I was being literally pushed into a subway car by a rail officer, squeezed against no fewer than 7 strangers' bodies on this rail car, trying to figure out where to go, and I figured it out. And I didn't die, and it was an amazing trip. It was such a confidence booster, and I promise you, all the things that you're worried about going wrong with solo travel, once you conquer them, it will so be worth it. So those are 5 ways that I think solo travel is really awesome. If you have any other ways that you would like to add, leave them down in a comment below. Before we go, let's talk about today's sponsor, Squarespace. I used them to design my website last year, and it was so easy. Squarespace supports any type of content, whether it's a blog, a gallery, commerce, a calendar, so you can build any kind of page that you want with it, and you can manage your blog entries and comments on the go with the Squarespace blog app. So head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when your site is looking good and ready to go, you can visit squarespace.com/AllisonAnderson to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and be sure to hit that notification bell so that you know when new videos are posted, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.